Hey, how are you, everybody? I'm JP. Oh, there you go. Thank you for being here. It's 10:30 a.m. I know probably a few of us went to a couple parties, but here we are, so thank you so much. So I'm JP. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Civic. For those of you that may know Civic, we've been around the Solana ecosystem for a few years now, doing identity and access management. So just want to talk a little bit about how do we improve the user experience on our apps. And really, we gotta kill the wallet, okay? So, how do we invite people today to come to Web3? It's really, really great, you guys. You know this, right? We tell them, if you lose your seed phrase, you're done. You gotta be careful with scams. You gotta do your own research. And by the way, you need to tell them to always say GM. Why? I don't know. But this is what we tell people. And really, no matter what we do to improve that user experience, it's never gonna be great, okay? We're always gonna be scaring people away. You can have the smoothest onboarding. You can make it so simple to get the seed phrase out of the way, show it later. But it's like, you wanna come to this very, very scary park, or you wanna go to this beautiful other world. And that's what we need to start thinking about. Then let's say they get past that. Their first experience is gonna be what? They're gonna land on an empty balance that looks something like this, right? That's it. That's very inspiring. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. Seems really, really great. So you get to this big fat zero, but they're like, okay, everybody talks about, yeah, now it's super simple. What do you do next? You need to on-ramp. You need to go to some exchange, right? Figure out how do you get some crypto on that wallet. You need to do some form of verifications, right? A lot of you, I do something called KYC as part of what our product offering is, so I'm very used to that. But most people don't need to do KYC if they want to use a social app. They don't need to do KYC if they want to send a message to someone. That's not part of their whole experience. Then, once they figure that out, they need to transfer crypto assets, right? In some shape or form, they need to send it to that wallet if it was on an exchange, because that exchange wallet doesn't work with any application, by the way, because you don't manage any of that. So you need to transfer some of that, and then go buy an NFT at some marketplace that hopefully then you know that you need to get. So really, it gets really, really complicated. And we feel that this is like, oh, we did such a great experience. But I want to just pose this out. It's like, do we really, really need a wallet to experience Web3? Web3 has the ability to do everything, right? And more than existing applications can do. So why do we need a wallet? Really? What's a wallet? It's a place where you store some private keys that allow you to say, this is who I am, sign some form of transaction, that's some magic stuff on the internet, that then establishes who you are. So it's a little bit like a proof of identity in some shape or form. So can we just simplify that onboarding without sacrificing any of the benefits of working on Solana? And of course, we all are here. Solana is pretty great. So what do we want? We want to maintain speed. We want to leverage the low costs. We want to maintain decentralization. And of course, ownership. That's the whole promise of blockchain, of decentralized technologies. And of course, Solana. So that's one of our products, civic.me, right? And how do we welcome someone when they want to start something? Go connect your wallet. I'm telling you, we're not there just yet. We'll get there, right? That is the plan. We will do something about this, right? But can we just start with something simple, like an email to log in, right? And of course, for people that already are into Web3, they should still be able to use that. And how about enabling self-custody later, right? All of this exchange and try to figure all that at the beginning to see that maybe I want to use this. Why do we need to do that? And there's some interesting ways that you can do this. Probably most of you guys are fairly technical in some shape or form, right? So you can use hosted MPC wallets. MPC wallets are pretty great, right? They scale. They have, a lot of them, some really good security, really nice architectures, and actually are pretty well battle-tested this day and age. So that can be a route. And of course, self-custody wallets should still be part of the equation, right? As they are going to, of course, allow the user to control their seed phrase, and there's people that still want to do that. Now, that did not change just yet. I don't know why. But is there? Oh, sorry. There we are. So what can that look like? Something that is very familiar. Something that is very simple for people, right? Connect with their email, connect with their X account, formerly known as Twitter, or, of course, connect with their existing wallet. And now that our Google friends did a lot of excellent announcements yesterday, of course, there's a lot of good stuff that you can do with Google. Where's Jeff? So, 3 design principles to keep it super, super simple. 1, you can manage the wallet for the user, okay? So that scenario will require you to issue a wallet to that user and manage all the custody behind the scenes. So that gets a little bit trickier because you have to protect those private keys. The second option is using service providers like MetaKeep, Web3Auth, Magic Link. There's a bunch of options out there that are actually pretty great, right? In that case, you have MPC wallets that provide amazing security. They provide also self-custody in some shape or form, right? And MetaKeep is now being used with GameShift. So that's going to be much more broadly available across the Solana ecosystem. So it's also one of the reasons why I'm excited about that. You can now have a lot of people onboarding onto Solana just through GameShift and all those toolings available there. And on the other side, it has a little bit of a negative, whatever you can see it is, it can get a little bit of expensive because you are paying by active wallet on a monthly basis. And the third option is using a PDA, which really is only possible on Solana, right? We're seeing some of those options come online. Projects like Underdog, for example, just proposed a solution where you can log in using your Gmail account, assign a PDA to that user, manage all the security, manage all the cryptography for them, and, of course, maintain all the digital assets assigned to that PDA. So you are ultimately being able to take advantage of all those Web3 components very easily. Now, okay, we got rid of the wallet from a user perspective, but then there's a couple of other components that we also need to make sure that we take care of in order to provide the best user experience. And it's, of course, rent and network fees, okay? As a user, I shouldn't be worrying about that. That just doesn't make much sense. So, I'm going to propose something really revolutionary. Subsidize those costs. And if you think about it, it's not very, very expensive, right? Most likely, you're already paying for Google Cloud services, for AWS. Why would not just pay for rent and fees? I'd say it's going to be cheaper than a lot of those services that you're paying on Google Cloud. And if you, I don't want to be but you should take advantage of the Web3 program that Google announced yesterday. So then all the Google stuff becomes free, and you only have to pay for the Solana fees. So there really is no reason not to try and do this today. Number 2, it's use compression. Compression is really changing everything. And this is not just for NFT compression. Whole concept of state compression and everything that you can do just is going to reduce all costs significantly, right? It's close to zero sometimes. And of course, increases the scalability. So we can go to the millions of users that's necessary to create viable businesses. At the end of the day, Web3 is super fun, don't get me wrong, but we are kind of alone in the world. We need to bring more people over. And 3, of course, what about those MPC wallets or those self-custody wallets that I talked about earlier? Yes, for those too. So we have all the tooling. I still don't know why are we fighting it so much? And I think I know why. But let me just show you a couple of examples, right? Solarplex is a social platform that probably a few of us are using. It's really interesting because it's not only using email as part of the onboarding process, it's using the AD protocol, which is this identity protocol that is decentralized and open and technically allows you to bring your social graph across different social applications. So that's super interesting. Liquid Prop, a real-world assets product. Also, they're using MetaKeep behind the scenes. You sign up with your email, your name, you tell them where you are, you can continue, and that's it, right? You can start looking at all the properties, you can start doing everything. You will have a wallet. You will be able to bring crypto in very simply, making a transfer. If you have it, you can do everything you want. We are using TipLink all over the place here. So many really great use cases where with just an email, you can send crypto, you can send NFTs, and there's so much more, okay? So there's no reason why we couldn't do this. It's already happening. But let's not forget about self-custody. And I talk a lot about let's kill the wallet, let's do all of this, but self-custody is important. I don't want you to think that I am against that. The whole point of why we're here and why we believe in crypto, at least myself and probably a lot of you guys, is that we want to take control, right, of our digital world, of our digital assets. So we don't want to give the Facebooks, the Googles of the world more power, because now they would have complete control over everything. So we do need stepping stones towards self-sovereignty, right? We've been at it for 10 years. We can't keep trying to get there doing the same thing. So we need to try something different. And as part of that, that process of exiting to a wallet needs to be also considered in your experiences. So you start with the very simple email, password, or just a social login. And at some point, as you teach the user what it means to be self-sovereign, and hopefully everybody starts to understand it better, we allow them to exit. And of course, I'm not saying that I know what this looks like exactly, but finding the right balance is not going to be easy. We need to test, we need to try things out, and we always need to think about how do we improve the user experience without diluting the core value proposition of Web3. So, summary, you guys. If we want to welcome new users, we need to have our apps to be more friendly and familiar, okay? There's no way around it. 2, this is going to be very controversial, but why do we need to financialize everything? The socialify, the gamify, why do we do that? Not everything needs to be about a financial gain. And that's also part of the problem, right? Everybody on Web3 expects to make a profit out of the app that they're using, right? Games. If I'm not playing to earn, I'm not going to play that. But then they go and pay $50 for a pack on FIFA. And they're fine with that, and they're not really making any money. So how does that really work? I think we need to also change a little bit how this is thought through. And last but not least, self-custody is important. Just introduce it later. Thank you, everybody.